Hi guys, as you can see from behind me, the sun is out. It's a beautiful day, but it's very windy today. Now, this episode is going to be the long-awaited plot tour, okay? And I've got a few things I'd like to say at the end, so make sure you stick to the end, okay? Just to find out what I've got to say, because it'll be worth it. Anyway, let's get and have a look at the plot tour. Okay guys, so as you can see, we have some timber in here. Excuse this wind, like I said, it's very windy. But we have some timber in this part of the ground here where we've got some wires trained. Now this is going to be for some espalier trees. Now we got sent these from Thompson and Morgan earlier on in the year, but they were too late for us to do the videos we wanted to do. So what we've done, they've just been sat here in the bags. As you can see this was all dug, and look at the grass that's grown on it, okay? But so that's basically what's going to happen. We're going to have a video on these, okay, espaliering these trees. Now we've got a few here that I planted in directly into the ground, and another couple there, okay? So we will get to do all of these, and I'll explain that later on. Okay guys, so the next section we've got here are some raspberries, and they've been planted in rows, and this will get netted off. We've got to trim these back anyway, but you know, there's some really nice raspberries on them. In fact, I'm going to have that one, and they're very sweet as well. They're lovely. This year all of these strawberries are all brand new. This is the 3-tier strawberry bed that we built. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link up in the corner here. Just have a little look at that. We've got absolutely tons and tons and tons of runners that we need to deal with. And I'm going to take all of these runners for something I'm going to talk to you a little bit later on in the year. Might even talk to you later on in the episode. So we walk up here, and as you can see, this was the first half plot that we took on. And if you remember guys, it was in a right mess when we first took it on. And we terraced it off. So in this bed here we have all the blackberries. Next bed we have gooseberries, and we've got pathways in between, so because this is on quite a slant, as you can see, but we have pathways so we can walk on and weed. As you can see, this bed down here, it's not so bad, but as we go up further, the weeds are kicked in a bit more. We've got blueberries on this one, honeyberries, and then we've got red and black currants, okay? This one we've had a nightmare with bindweed. As you can see, there's absolute tons of it. Here we're going to be getting rid of this manure, and along here will be another bed, and that there is a josterberry, and we're going to have a row of josterberries here, okay? Across here we've got a path, and this is where the bindweed is all in at the moment, so I haven't bothered to do anything with it. However, as the weather gets colder now, I'm going to trim it right back down. I'm going to take the top growth off. We're going to put some carpets down in, some wood chip, and we're going to really nip that in the bud. So we're going to walk up here now to the next plots. So this is the other half, and as you can see, it's pretty much ready for the winter. We've still got part of the marrow growing because this little baby one came up just before Malvin, and I decided to leave it go. The bag's blown off because it is very windy here, but the idea is I'm going to put a fence along here which will help protect these crops away from the wind, because if I spin you around, down there is the entrance to the allotments, and the wind just blows up here at a hell of a rate. So as you can see, we've got some fresh green growth come through there, but we have varying degrees of green manure in the ground. Now these are called field beans. I dug this section yesterday. This is where the beans were, and I've taken them out and obviously kept seed for next year. We grew a Norma this year and we had fantastic crop, but I dug that and I've now planted field beans in there. This was the first bed we planted field beans in, and as you can see, they're coming through really well. Now what green manure does, okay, they're a legume, or this is a legume, so it will actually put nitrogen into your ground all winter long, and then In the spring when you dig it in, it will add the organic matter as well. Again, this is an area I dug yesterday, and where the other row of potatoes were, okay, and we've also put beans in here. The rest of the potatoes that we've got left that we haven't harvested yet are there in that big row. This plot is 21.5 feet wide, I think, so it's a good width on the plot. Along here we have more field beans, okay, and in here we've got composts and leaf mold and stuff. So as you can see there, look guys, this is compost, okay, which is nearly finished. And then as we work around, there's some of the beans and stuff in that one. There's more finished compost in this one, and I think it's either this one or the other one that we have our leaf mold in. Yeah, it's this one here. So let me get some of that out and show you. So this is our leaf mold, and look at that stuff. That is beautiful. It hasn't got long left before it finishes breaking down. So that's like 3/4 of a bin of leaf mold there, ready for next year. And a lot of that is going to be going into our trenches. We've got an ABC there that we use just for putting in watering cans and stuff, but next year I'm going to be laying out watering systems for it, because it's quite a lot of hard work. Now we've got a brassica cage there. We've harvested most of it. We've still got our sprouts in there, and obviously we've got some spring cabbage and things in there now, but the sprouts are all at the back ready for Christmas. So this point here ends the first or the second half plot, if you like. However, this plot here, I'm hoping you can hear me guys, this plot here I will be having this year. So at the end of this year I'll be taking on this plot as well. So we will have from there right the way across to the end of that black liner there, but it also goes all the way up there, because I already have this half a plot from the shed up, or from these stones up, okay. This is all stuff I'm preparing ready for the shed build that's going to be coming up over winter if I can get enough materials. Got a spare IBC here, obviously a basket of strawberries that we had. There's various other plants along here and a lot of junk that I got to sort out, guys. All right, in here there are fig trees. As you can see, we've got figs on them, but it's a bit late for this year. And even our lemon tree has done well this year. I mean, we've got some quite good sized lemons on it. You know, there's quite a few in there. So I'm quite pleased. There's old Wurzel. He hasn't made an appearance this year because I still haven't fixed his face, as you can see. Some bed frames here that we're going to use for cloches and what have you. All right, and we've got 3 IBCs along here which will get covered in. At the moment they're all full of water that we have caught off the polytunnel. Now I'm going to take in the polytunnel. It's a bit of a mess, guys. I haven't finished it yet, but we've got 2 slabs here I've got to cut. Okay, now look at the state on this. All right, I got tomatoes that are falling off the plant because they're overripe and what have you, but we'll get down here. None of this has been tied up for weeks and weeks and weeks. Now we have had loads of corn already. I mean, look how tall these things are, right away up to the roof, and that roof is about 8.5 feet up there. This cross members 6.5 feet, so to give you some sort of idea. So we've got varying, excuse me bashing you about, it's like concrete jungle in here, varying sizes of tomatoes. I mean, look at this, look at that for a bunch. We just need to finish, you know, and up there we've had great success this year on tomatoes, all down there, all up here. And you know, the great thing about this is there's no blight. It's late, but there's no blight, and there's a reason for that, guys. And blight is an issue with ventilation when it's humid. So if you're watering properly and you've got plenty of ventilation, as you can see, we've got ventilation all along here and the same on the other side, then there's not a problem. As you can see, I haven't been keeping up with the weeding in here. I've been a bit busy, but we'll go through that now. All these crops are due to come out anyway, but I mean, we've got aubergines here, look at them. They're all hanging off the plant right the way around, but I'm letting them pretty much go to what now, and we are harvesting. There's a cucumber in there that needs to come out. This, guys, is a brand new grapevine that I planted. It's planted outside. It goes all the way up there. All right, it's massive. Now, what we're going to do with this, it'll be a later video, but we're going to espalier this grapevine, and I'll explain that to you then. I want to go on now. Most of you have seen this tunnel before, or well, you haven't seen this. You've seen this tunnel and how it works, but not in this location. However, there's an addition. As you can see here, I've built a room within the polytunnel. Now, if I come in, it's got, it's got shelving here that folds down against the wall, so you can still grow in a bed here. At the moment though, I've got a lot of weed in it I've got to get out, which I have done, but it's come back. It's easy enough to pull out, as you can see. It's just a case of grabbing it and then it comes out. You know, it's not hard stuff to get rid. But these walls are double insulated. Okay, now what this is going to do is create quite a warm environment for sowing seeds in early spring, and I can heat just this section. Okay, we've got double glazed windows that will go in these places. All right, but there's double glazing. I don't know if you can make it out here, look. So right through here and on the other side. All right, and the same thing on these walls. The only one that's single is this one here, and the roof, and that's because obviously it's inside another tunnel. So I'll give you a look above it. Yeah, all right, so it's literally a room within the room. I want to talk about, while I'm here, the tomatoes. As you can see, this is how we've supported them. Okay, there is a stick that goes up into a 2x1, and it's drilled and it just goes into the ground, and then they tie to that, and it's a very, very good structure for that. I mean, you imagine the weight that's on these tomatoes. You know, there are absolutely loads on them. We still haven't pulled them all off. I've frozen, I don't know, many. The next thing, I mean, as you can see here, this chili here has actually snapped because of the weight, of the weight of all the chilies on it. They're fantastic, but the plant is still green, so I'm leaving it there because obviously, although it's snapped, it's still being fed down there, and I'm going to harvest most of these chilies over the next day or two anyway. This is one area I haven't really been keeping up with lately, and if you're wondering why, okay, it's because I've been arranging a lot of other stuff, but again, I'll talk to you with that a bit later on. I'm just going to shake all these flowers off this so I don't get covered. Like I said, we have had tons and tons of these corn. You know, these are good sized corns, and I'll open one up for you now in a moment. Oh, I just got absolutely covered in this stuff then. So, you know, but we'll open one up in a second and have a little look. All right. So along here again, another grapevine. As you can see, it's gone up there. It's planted outside, and I'll show you that now in a moment. But again, we'll espalier this. So we've got one white and one black. Now, these grapevines, guys, were a 10-inch long stick that we stuck in the ground in the beginning of spring. And look at them. So they've done huge amounts of growing. Okay, here's the bean poles that I threw in here from yesterday, and where I've been harvesting the beans. Got a couple of cucumber there that I've let go to seed. And here we have some of the pumpkins that have grown. Okay, I mean, they've been in here for quite a little while, but because you can see the weeds have grown around them. But they're good sized pumpkins, and they're all ready for the kids for Halloween. Okay, let's have a quick look at this. Let's have a quick look at this corn. See how we are. Excuse me, coughing, guys. There we are, look. And that's one thing we always have. I grow my corn inside. We always have really good corn. And I've always grown it inside. And the reason for that is you can control the environment it's in. As long as you pollinate it, you're fine. Okay. Let's back out here. Excuse me, coughing. So up here now, obviously we've got our windows. Excuse me. This is where the grapes were planted outside, and they've been doing really well. They've been taken into the polytunnel through a hole that they've created there. I was going to put net over it, but I never got around to it. So again, it's all weed up here. But again, as you can see, this one has gone mental as well. That's gone in exactly the same thing. But what we'll probably try doing is propagating this piece and have a third one. We come up to this area, you guys have seen the pond build, and this is how it's currently doing. Some of the water plants are starting to die back a little bit. It's a little bit shaded today because the tree that's there, but I've seen frogs in here and I've seen a couple of the fish. They're doing really well. Incidentally, we've got another pond build coming up, and it's a big one, so you may want to stay tuned for that one. So guys, as you can see now, come the end of this year, we'll have 2 full-size plots again at the new site, which is right opposite my house there. Earlier on in the beginning of this episode, I said to you there's a couple of things I wanted to bring up. The first of those is a massive thank you to all of you. Okay, we have just gone over 7,000 subscribers, so a big heartfelt thanks from Brian and myself out to you guys. And also we've had over 1 million views, where I think we're about 1,007,000 or something at the moment. That's a massive achievement, and I'm really chuffed that you guys are continuing to support UK Here We Grow. It is really important to us because, you know, we work so hard in which to do these videos. There's a third bit of information I want to give you as well. As you're aware, you've not had many of these types of videos from me this year as far as the allotment and things goes. There's been lots of builds and other stuff, and there's been videos from Brian, but from myself I've been relatively quiet. And the reason for that, excuse the wind, the reason for that is because I have been in talks with a couple of companies and things like that. I've just secured 3.5 acres of land in which we will be setting up a bee breeding project, and also we'll be moving the poultry there, and eventually we will move some growing there as well. So some of the bigger stuff that I'm going to do, we will move there as well. And I'm going to change it into a teaching place for children to come and learn all about bees and growing and things like that. So that is going to be an ongoing thing. There's going to be some videos of that later on as and when we finalise. At the moment there's a lot of trees in play, which we're waiting to see if there's any orders on, and if there isn't, we can get some of those down, just to give us a little bit more land, because there's a lot of wooded area that we want to get into and what have you. Anyway guys, like I said, it's a massive thank you from Brian and myself for the 7,000 subs and the 1 million views. Keep viewing, keep pressing them subscribe buttons, because we do really appreciate it, and we've got tons of footage which we're going to be doing. Stay tuned for that pond build. We also got Brian's recently visited Ali Ball, one of our Facebook admins. Ali's a great Facebook admin, and he visited her out in Spain about 2 weeks ago. So that video will be our next video, guys, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, again from myself, thanks for viewing, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.